Good morning. Fucking good morning. What's going on? Good evening, everyone. Here we are. It's Fruit Nut News on, of course, the 27th, the evening of the 27th. Much apologies about this morning. I don't know why it didn't record. Not too sure what went off. I thought I'd press the record button, but clearly I hadn't. But anyway, not to worry. We're back on now. So I'll do a little bit of a recap of what I spoke about this morning very quickly because I know a lot of people have already seen it. So it will just be, it'll just be very, very quick, and then we'll take it from there, so to speak. We'll take it from there. Okay, so 27th, of course, 27th of the 5th. We've also got 32 people joining us tonight. How we doing? And Taylor, Steve Osborne, Donnie W. Donnie W is a new one, so good evening, Donnie. Hope you're okay. Male or female, not kind of sure. John Brink, Graham, Vanessa's in, Lisa's in, Diane's in, Rose Stewart's in, Kath Miser's in, Grada's in, Story Night's in, Sue Allen, Lisa Steele's in, Sharon Young's in, Pam Keenan's joining us, Gary's in. Yes. Gary had a road trip today. Can't remember for the life of me what it for. Anyway, there we go. John Ornwin, Lillian Florence. Michael's in, Kira's in, Dave Ling's joining us as well tonight, Sheila Douglas, Mars is in, we've also got Chills in, Jack's in, Looney Lena's in, Brenda Corcoran's in, Charlene Lamborghini's in, and of course Jason of the Thomas. So good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. So what have we got for you tonight? Well, water bosses tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Water bosses are absolutely going bananas, because kids are enjoying themselves in the paddling pool. And, of course, water bosses are up in arms about the extra water that's being pumped into thousands of paddling pools across the UK. And they're claiming drought. They're claiming all kinds of shit. I mean, I'm not being funny, just claiming shit, right? And, this is all rather interesting. That's in the wrong place, actually. It's all rather interesting. This, 35 degrees. I mean, what are you supposed to do with the children in half term? Put them in the sink? I mean, most sinks are so small now, you can't even fucking... I remember when I was a kid, we had a proper sink. I mean, I could swim in my sink. We had a double drainer as well. We were like proper fucking posh back in the day. And our sink was that big. It took me half an hour to swim from one side of it to the other. I was probably only about 2 or 3 years old, but that's not the point. It was a long way when you were a kid. Know what I mean? So very, very interesting that the water chiefs are moaning about the kids. Not to mention the fact that, of course, that 107 million litres of water is wasted by leaks every single day by the water companies. Oh, it's coming out. It's coming out. Not to mention the fact that they're poisoning the fuck out of everybody. Know what I mean? With that fluoride shite. That stuff that they didn't have any use for, so they decided to put it into the, into the systems. Very interesting. And then, of course, why did they get rid of copper pipes? Why did we get rid of copper pipes? Well, there you go. Another little scenario in regards to copper pipes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've got big news for you. The Pussycat Dolls are back again after 6 years. I know you're so excited to see the Pussycat Dolls. Apparently, they've been recycled. They've been seen on national TV. They've all been wearing red PVC catsuits. I mean, I don't know about you, but when you get recycled into the old pussies, know what I'm saying? Well, there you go. It says it all. Meanwhile, of course, we take you back to the 3 teens, actually, who raped 2 girls rather violently. And Nicholas Rowland, the arsehole of a judge, decided that he was going to let them off. apparently now, due to the fact that there's been massive public outrage about this, the case is now being reviewed rather swiftly. I'm not surprised. So a big shout out tonight to Nicholas Rowland, the judge who happens to be an absolute and complete and utter wanker. And basically sort of, you know, it creates an image, doesn't it, of judges. You know, when you do these kind of things, you know, your fellow judges must be looking at him going, what the fuck is he doing? You know, maybe they're all the same, who knows? And of course, these lads were let off because Nicholas didn't want to discriminate them against their age. Yes, forget the fact that the two girls were violently raped against their will and went through a trauma we could actually not even fathom about. No, let's not worry too much about that. You know what I mean? And then meanwhile, of course, we've now got a new terrorist law has come in. These are called scuba terrorists. Now, apparently these people are going round the planet, damaging precious reefs and coral across the world. I mean, these people are so dangerous. It's absolutely incredible. Now, apparently they've been donning flippers and masks and oxygen tanks that have been brushing the coral. And basically some of the hooligans have even been taking pieces of coral home with them in a bag. Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. Now, this new law that's come out, it's been passed by, of course, Keir Starmer. It's called the Barbaric Scuba Diving Law. And it's going to protect the North Sea coral, the seventh wonder, North Sea coral. I mean, forget the fact that the fuckers are damaging everything on the planet and all this kind of thing. Never mind that. Never mind that. Anyway, brilliant. Now, Keir Starmer apparently is drawing up a game changer. This is a game changer, ladies and gentlemen. Keir Starmer has been drawing up game changers for a very long time. He changed the game in regards to illegal migrants coming into the country. He changed the game when, of course, he got the police to protect all of the illegal migrants coming into the country, which means that the government and the police are aiding and abetting criminal activity. Absolutely fucking amazing, that one. Then, of course, what did he do? He changed the game in regards to rape gangs. He didn't do fuck all about it. And then, of course, he changed the game in regards to knife crime. He just turned a blind eye and said, well, you know, these fellas just carry knives. It's normal. He changed the game when it came to shoplifting. He decided that shoplifting was no more and people could just help their fucking selves. And shop assistants and security staff just had to stand by and cheer the old boys on. Know what I mean? And then, of course, what else did he change the game at? Yes, he changed the game while he was snorting cocaine with Mr. Macron, of course, and Mr. Zelensky, of course. Oh, yes. He changed the game when he sent billions and billions of pounds to the Chagos Islands, ladies and gentlemen. He also changed the game when he sent billions and billions of pounds to, of course, the Ukraine. And then, of course, he changed the game when he decided to support Israel in their genocide and killing of men, women and children, not only in Palestine, but also in Lebanon as well. And I would imagine quite a few other countries around the world too. I mean, wait till people find out that it was a game changer that Israel were involved in 9/11. It was a game changer, of course, when Israel were involved in Princess Diana. But remember, you didn't hear that here I said nothing about it. So he's come up with this absolute game changer, and he's decided to crack down on social media. Oh my fucking God. Social media, the plight of the planet, ladies and gentlemen. The most dangerous thing that's happening on the planet at the moment. And, of course, it's going to change the game. So he's now targeting under 16-year-olds because, of course, if you bring the kids in, of course, that means that it tugs on everybody's heartstrings. I mean, forget the fact that if you change social media, then basically you're going to change normal media for normal people, which means, of course, that people like myself and all of the other people that are speaking the truth won't be allowed to speak the truth. And, of course, but we know what the game is. That's the whole point. The game is to actually shut social media down because, of course, the government are fucking absolutely losing like no tomorrow. And then, of course, we had the XL bully dogs are back in the scene at the moment. Apparently attacked a kid, and apparently I'm not quite sure what happened. But anyway, we know what the crack is. They use the kids as an opportunity to basically shut things down. And then, of course, we've got the gun issue that we spoke about this morning. This was, of course, the shootings that happened in Hungerford. Now, remember, 16 adults were killed in the Hungerford PSYOP, and they're probably now got very good jobs in the government, etc., etc., etc. I mean, I did hear, and I don't know how true this is, that the very famous tennis player Andy Murray and his mother were involved in the Dunblane shootings. This is, of course, when 16 kids got massacred in the Dunblane shootings. Apparently, Judy Murray was a teacher, and Alolo Murray just happened to be a fucking pupil as well. How unusual is that? That they went on then to be some very successful people in the eyes of the media. Let's get to the bottom of all that bullshit, shall we? Yes, very interesting. And of course, that those 16 children that apparently died, or did they? We're not quite sure. They basically caused the guns to be taken, of course, or away from the British people. Oh yes, we know what. And now, a trans person who transitioned from a man to a woman has been absolutely outraged by a DNA test. Apparently she sent off for a DNA test on one of these online things, and apparently it came back that she was a man. Well, it would do. I mean, if you send off your DNA and you're a man, it's going to come back that you're a man. It's not going to come back that you're a man that's changed into a woman. No. It's going to come back because you're a man. Your DNA is a man. Okay? There's no getting away from it. Anyway, this man woman is so outraged by this. Absolutely, she's going to sue the company. Good luck with that one. That's all we can say. And then, of course, we've got the emerging problems in the Reform UK party. Now, here we have Robert Jenrick claiming that they're going to kick out all of the illegal people. Yes. And then on X, Zia Youssef said that, hold on a minute. Robert Jenrick said that we won't be kicking out all of the illegal people. Then, of course, Zia Youssef on X said that, hold on a minute, we will. Very interesting. So it seems as though we've got some very unusual comments coming from Reform. So don't get your hopes up too much about Reform, ladies and gentlemen, if I was you. I mean, I would support the Fruit and Nut News a lot quicker than I would Reform, Nigel Farage, Keir Starmer, Kemi Baynock, and all the other fuckers. Now, Charles, Charles is now being branded as the King of Hearts. Charles, the King of Hearts. Yes, Charles, the King of Hearts, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you remember, the Princess Diana was, of course, classed as the Queen of Hearts for very good reason, ladies and gentlemen. For very good reasons. And of course, she just happened to be, she just happened to be supporting the anti-landmine process. And also she just happened to be dating a person of great interest. And there was a possibility that she could be also pregnant by that person of great interest. Who knows? We don't know. We're just pretending that we know for a while. It will, of course, come out, as you well know. But now the king is being classed as the King of Hearts because, of course, he visited a cancer centre earlier today, and he was seen shaking hands with people that had suffered cancer, got over cancer, had run for cancer, had died for cancer, all kinds of shit. They'd even given cancer money in their will. I mean, more for them, of course. But anyway, there you go. Now, here we, of course, have Sausage Fingers shaking the hands. The Kuru man, the man who is suffering from a rather interesting disease that seems to be connected to cannibalism. Now, I don't know about you, but of course, let's forget all that aside. We also have to remember that Charles has been heavily involved with Jimmy Savile. Charles has also been heavily involved with his brother, Andrew, and of course, a certain Mr. Epstein, a certain Miss Gazelle Maxwell. We all know what that's all about. And then, of course, King Charles has also been, very close to Mr. Mandelson. Yes, that person that did all kinds of crazy shit. We also know, of course, that Andrew was a prolific sex addict. We know that while he was UK envoy in the Middle East, in China, we know that he basically frequented prostitutes. We know that he had a room in the hotel he was staying at, where prostitutes were put up at the expense of taxpayers. And of course, anybody over the age of 60 is going to be outraged at this, that they actually funded Andrew's prostitution. Apparently, he also had a very strong interest in Japanese saburo, which is of course the art of rope work. If you want to look that up, please do so. It is widely known about that in the sexual circles, of course. Anyway, I'll leave that up to you to have a look. And then it seems amazing that we've had this fantastic weather, and then all of a sudden we've got these kids that happen to be drowning. Now, have they forgotten how to swim due to the fact that it's 35 degrees? I don't know. Now, apparently, yesterday, it's made tragic headlines. Apparently 3 teenagers died while swimming. I don't know whether about you, but I wonder if the powers that be are trying to stop children from swimming because it's dangerous. Now, if they tried to stop some of the things that I've done when I was a kid, well, fucking lo and behold. Now, do we stop children swimming because it's dangerous? Do we stop them from driving? Do we stop them from crossing the road? Do we stop them from taking a train? Do we stop them from catching a bus? Do we stop them from eating at McDonald's? Do we stop them from being on social media because it's so dangerous, it's unfucking true? I don't know. Do we? Or do we allow them to assess the risks and make decisions themselves which is basically what we did in the old days. Now, in the old days, my father would always warn us about the paraffin heater that used to be in the kitchen. It was rather cold in our kitchen, if I can remember that far back. The only real place was the room where the fire was burning day and night. Beautiful. Beautiful. And, okay, so we'll take you back to a particular instance where I decided that my father's advice was not to be heeded to, and I decided to touch the top of the paraffin heater. Let me tell you, it was fucking hot. And let me tell you as well that the imprint that it left on my hand stayed with me for probably around about 10 years. And even today, if I look very carefully, I can see the scar from actually touching the paraffin heater. Hence, the reason that since that day, I've actually never touched a paraffin heater since, because it was fucking hot and it hurt. Very interesting. Now, I didn't go to hospital like normal children, no. I was sent to bed with a clip round the ear hole for being a bad little fucker and not listening to my father's advice. I think I was brought some ice back in the day. It would, of course, be now classed as child abuse, but back then it was just normal. And that's how we learnt. We made mistakes. We fell over. We got up. When we were mispedaling our bikes under extreme pressure, a slip of the pedal meant that the crown jewels were separated in half, and you ended up on the floor, dying for breath for probably about 5 or 10 minutes. The only outcome was to basically curl up on the floor in the fetus position and wait till the pain in your testicles died down. It was a very interesting time to be alive. And let's not forget that due to this 35-degree weather, apparently now trains are being delayed due to the fact that the rail lines are buckling under the heat. Now, we all know why this is, of course, because the train people, or should we say the government, have decided to use inferior steel that, of course, is made in China. And I don't know whether you know, but there's a vast difference between Chinese steel and British steel. It's all in the ingredients that they use. And, of course, British steel is renowned across the world for its capabilities. Unfortunately, of course, the Chinese decided that they were going to create a cheap alternative to sell to everybody in the world. Unfortunately, what they didn't tell everybody was that that Chinese steel is now collapsing, and it is being affected by, of course, the cement and the concrete that surrounds it, which is causing a vast swathe of Chinese infrastructure, i.e. buildings and bridges, to be collapsing at a vast rate. And so, yes, it's a good job the Sydney Bridge was made out of Teesside British steel. And, of course, the Tay Bridge as well in Scotland. It was a good job. It's not Chinese. You might also be wondering as well in this heat why electric cars such as Tesla are basically being set on fire. Very easy to understand. They've used cheap Chinese steel, not only to make the wiring looms in the car that can't actually sustain the amount of heat that is passing from the battery to all the electrical components. They didn't tell you that one. Tesla decided to go down the cheap route. They also made very cheap batteries. According to my very good friend, who was heavily involved in making some very, very good batteries that Tesla decided that he didn't want to get involved with. And, of course, lo and behold, we have Tesla cars setting fire and probably killing more people than the 3 people that drowned yesterday trying to swim in a lake somewhere. Very interesting. Anyway, now this is an interesting one as well. Piers Morgan appears in Paddy Power. I did give you an heads up about this, about all the celebrities that are now advertising for the likes of moneysupermarket.com, Purcell Automatic, Mr. Crouch. Who else have we got? David Beckham with the Ninja barbecue products. Oh yes, the list is long and endless. But Piers Morgan now has appeared in a Paddy Power advert, and he is actually dressed as a woman. We think that this is a humiliation ritual for Piers, because also he was actually filmed as a medic and also a milkman. Very interesting. Oh, the great people have fallen. And then, of course, the Iran situation is actually going very well at the moment. People are dying everywhere. Meanwhile, of course, Donald Trump tells everybody the peace talks are still ongoing. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know about you. But the fact that people are dying seems to me to lead to the fact that I'm not too sure about the peace talks. But anyway, that's by the by. Let's come to the wedding of Donny Jr. Now, Donny Jr. seems to have got married over the weekend to a rather nefarious character that happens to be linked to Jeffrey Epstein. Her father apparently was private banker. Fucking hell. Was private banker to Jeffrey Epstein, and Donny Jr. Just happens to be marrying the daughter of the banker. Now, I'm not too sure about this. This is another one I'm not too sure about. Now, where is Donald Trump going to pitch himself in all of this? Because, of course, we've got the Epstein files about to be released, the JFK files about to be released. I mean, it's only been since 1963, and they're not out yet. So I'm not too sure about that either. But I was thinking, where is Don going to actually put himself in this mirage of illicit encounters? I mean, we now have Donald Trump's son marrying into the Epstein fraternity. Not only that, it appears from early reports that Melania Trump and Baron Trump never went to the wedding. Now, we know that the wedding was in the Bahamas. We know it was somewhere on Devil's Island. We're not quite sure where that was, and we don't really fucking care. But there was only 50 people at this wedding. 50 people at this big soiree. Now, I don't know about you, but I would have thought that Don Jr. knows a fair few more people than 50. But anyway, maybe the fact that Big Donald didn't turn up was maybe the reason that they decided to go for a low-key affair. Maybe. I don't know. And it probably was a low-key affair as well. But it's going to be interesting to see what is actually said about that particular wedding. I mean, I don't know about you, but it also asks a lot of fucking questions. Is Donald Trump going to fall? Is Donald Trump going to go? I don't know. It just leads us to all kinds of things. I mean, Donald's always talking about the fact that it's central casting. So I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Who knows? And then, of course, let's come to Disclosure Day that we spoke about this morning. Disclosure Day happens to be, this is the new film that's coming out where apparently you're going to get to find out that we are not alone. No, we are not alone. There are some very interesting characters in the neighborhood, so to speak. Some of them are green. Apparently some of them are grey aliens. Fucking who knows? I mean, I had a bat in my bedroom this morning at round about 2:30. I mean, maybe that was a green alien, or maybe it was a grey. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, it was a fucking doing my head in, let me tell you this. Anyway, June the 11th, which happens to be the 11th of the 6th in American numerology, of course, premieres in Mexico. Ooh, Mexico. What happened in Mexico? Oh, yeah. Is that the Dulce Air Force Base? Or, yeah, deep underground military situation? Oh, Area 51 around about that place as well. Never know what's going to happen, you know. Anyway, of course, it's also timed very well with, of course, the Mexico World Cup that happens to be having some very disastrous hotel situations going on. Now, apparently, the price for the World Cup in Mexico, i.e. the USA, is absolutely through the fucking roof. It's something in the region of £10,000, okay? £10,000, right, to stand outside the fucking stadium. Never mind fucking be in it. And I mean, God behold that you get a seat, £25,000 to £30,000 to get a seat. Okay, now what's going on here? Then, of course, you've got to buy the kit, haven't you? You know, if you happen to be an England supporter, you've got to buy the brand new World Cup fucking kit. You know, 280,000 for a pair of boots, socks, fucking garters, fucking shorts, 1970s, and a fucking shirt. I mean, crazy stuff. Now, interestingly enough, of course, if you take the 11th of the 6th and you convert that to hours and minutes, it converts to 11 hours and 6 minutes, which also converts to 666 minutes. Say no more. That 666 seemed to be popping up. We've also got Ebola knocking around and the Hunter virus. Now, we did hear today, and I don't know how true this is, we did hear today that there is going to be special measures taken for sick people in America. Now, most people would automatically assume, of course, that was sick people due to Ebola. We happen to think that this is very sick people in regards to child trafficking, paedophilia, andromochrome use, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, that was announced today, which is quite interesting. We also wanted to draw your attention to the 9/11 attack, which was very prominent, as you well know, done by, of course, Israel. You probably knew that anyway. If you didn't, shock fucking behold. Khazarian Mafia, the usual fucking bullshit. The three-letter agencies, FBI, CIA, MI5, MI6, all involved. You know, you thought these people were on our side. Actually, they're fucking not. They are on the opposite side. Anyway, looks like we've got a freeze going on. Anyway, we wanted to bring your attention to the fact that during the, should we say after the 9/11 attack happened, a organisation was formed called the Department of Homeland Security. It happened to incorporate 22 security agencies within the American situation. I would imagine a little bit further than that as well. But anyway, 22 agencies. Now, this is quite interesting, okay, because 22 agencies, 22, of course, equals V in the alphabet, and it also sort of stands for vendetta. Now, if you have done any research into the film Vendetta, this, of course, is the destruction of Westminster and what we would class as the British colonial empire. These are the bullshit people that have been running the world. They've been setting the oil prices. They've been taking the piss, etc., etc., etc. You know the drill. Anyway, now if you remember, everybody, this is the security guy, Robert Steele, I think he's passed away now. Robert Steele told everybody that for the last 15 to 20 years, which takes us back to, well before 2002, the powers that be, or should we say the white hats, if you want to class them as that, they've been tracking and tracing every single thing on the planet. And they've been tracking and tracing the bad gang. And Robert Steele said that these people have two choices. They either do the deal and work alongside the white hats to expose all of the corruption, or they are going to die. There wasn't any in between, like you might get let off. There was none of that. You either do the deal or you're fucking gonna die. So it was very explanatory, self-explanatory by, of course, David Steele. Now, this tracking and tracing has been going on, okay, for a very long time. And for anybody that thinks that it's actually not going on, well, I would like to bring you to the Fruit Nut News, okay? Now, we are pretty outspoken. We are pretty, I don't know, should we say, bang on the money, so to speak. I would say that we speak for a large swathe of course, the populace, etc., etc., etc. But isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting how certain things, come through to my channel that are then sort of highlighted in the mainstream media maybe a few days later. And this has been a coincidence that's been happening for a while. We've got 45 people in the house. Tells me we are talking about right. Then, of course, we've got the numbers. When you look at the numbers on the Fruit and Nut News, 22 minutes and 2 seconds, or maybe it's 555 megabytes. It just is too much of a coincidence. And, of course, isn't it also interesting that we've not really gotten not that I'm bothered about the numbers, because I'm not, but isn't it interesting how we are still kind of in the darkness when it comes to being out there? Now, all the big players, of course, all the big, Charlie Ward and all them people, they've all been out there. These are all the people, of course, that've been making huge amounts of money off people, of course. And I think, and I genuinely think, that the quantum financial system, or should we say the digital financial system, or the network that's being done or working is basically tracking and tracing everybody. And I think that this is one of the biggest interviews. I think it's a fucking job interview for certain positions moving forward. Now, at the moment, I've got no idea what my position is, but I'm certainly clear that there must be something in the future. Not quite sure how that's going to pan out. And at the moment, I'm just going to leave it to the man upstairs to find out what actually it is. And whatever it is, it will be B. No, know what I mean? And interestingly enough, don't you think that would be a good way? The way that it's happening, don't you think that it would be a good way of interviewing people for a brand new world, or maybe even a brand new system? Don't actually let them know you're actually interviewing them. No, let them do what they normally do and see if they can come up with the goods that will basically be beneficial to the world and to the people in the new world. What a fucking great idea that is. Now, if somebody had said, listen, we're doing interviews on social media for these types of positions, moving forward into the new world, the golden age, whatever you want to call it. everybody would have fucking done it, wouldn't they? Because they would have been, but you see, no. Free will, you see, this is where free will comes in. Free will is fucking absolutely beautiful because what it does, okay, it lets people do what they would normally do, as in what they would normally do. And so, yeah, you tell everybody there's an aptitude test, they're all going to fucking pull the boots up. If you say, well, just carry on doing what you're doing, they'll just carry on doing what they're doing, won't they? Okay? People act differently when they're being tested. Okay? Now, here's another thing as well. It is, of course, an IQ test as well, just to see, you know, whether or not you are either hanging out your arse or you're thinking out of the box. Anyway, here's another thing as well. Okay? And I've actually fucking forgot now what I was going to fucking say. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. I was going to say something really important then, but it's actually gone. But yeah, we were talking about the aptitude test, and we were talking about how that's going to affect people as we, of course, move forward. Oh yes, that's what I was going to say. Now, the military, and this is what I was going to say. The military, of course, right now. In the past, it's been very, very difficult to track and trace the criminals, okay? And the reason that it's been very difficult to track and trace the criminals is because the setting up of shell companies, the setting up of offshore accounts, the setting up of Companies House, okay? Companies House, what's that guy's name? Gary Waterman. Okay, he's done a lot of work on Companies House. Okay, there you go. Now, the structure and setting up of Companies House. Remember, Companies House goes all around the world, not just in the UK. Okay, and they've never been able to track it, and they've never been able to trace it. However, something has been developed that is able to track and trace every single transaction from its source of origin, all the way through the shell companies, all the way through the Cayman Islands, all the way through the Bermuda Triangle, all the way through the deep underground military bases, all the way through the corrupt governments around the world, all the way through Iran, all the way through the Ukraine, all the way through Mr. Zelensky, all the way back to the US of A and the senators, Nancy Pelosi, Joey Biden, all the way back, all the way to the origin and where it's all come from, where it's been spent, who spent it. And let me tell you about something that's just happened in the UK that is very relevant to what I've just said. Now, you'll all remember Nicola Sturgeon, and you'll all remember about a year or two ago there was a big hoo-ha about Nicola Sturgeon and the Scottish National Party, where 750,000 quidditch went missing. Now, it appears that Nicola Sturgeon all of a sudden had a motorhome at her mother's. Apparently there was a couple of cars at her mother's as well. Apparently her mother was also going on holiday quite regularly as well. There was also luxury watches and cars and should we say internet accounts, so to speak. And yeah, very interesting. And now, of course, Nicola Sturgeon's husband has been actually done and charged and jailed. I'm not sure how long for, but for those crimes that he committed and she committed, which will probably come to light at somewhere along the line. And so we can take it from there. So there we have, ladies and gentlemen, on this Wednesday evening, after some very luscious 35-degree weather, we have some very interesting things that are happening all across the world. So Please don't tell me that nothing's going on. Please don't tell me that you can't see anything. Please, please don't tell me that you're confused, because, well, you can be confused. That's okay. It's okay to be confused, but it's also okay to keep an open mind. And did you know that that is? I wrote this down somewhere. That is one of the very interesting things about intelligence. Did you know that intelligent people have the ability to realise that they are wrong, to realise that maybe new bits of information that are coming through can actually change the way that they think. And that's the difference between intelligent people and non-intelligent people. Intelligent people understand that at any moment their perspective or their information or their mindset can change based on any bit of information that's coming in. And intelligent people also never dismiss any information that is also coming in. They generally stand back at around about 40,000 feet and wait a couple of days to see, to let the dust settle and see if the shit is going to hit the fan. So the question remains is, are you intelligent or not? I certainly am. So it's up to you whether you are or not. Okie dokie. I'm going to get myself off. It's been an absolute pleasure tonight to entertain you once again. It's getting a bit regular this now. We've been doing it for probably 5 or 6 years. I'm not even quite sure how long we've actually been doing it for. But remember, the universe is always speaking to us. The universe is always giving us lessons. The universe is always trying to correct us on the right path. And of course, the universe, well, whether you believe it or not, is actually fucking bang on 100% right. Now, if I was you, I wouldn't dismiss the universe for one actual fucking minute. Anyway, take care. Have a great evening. We'll see you all again soon. And happy days. See you all again on Thursday. Love you, ladies.